Hello there, I'm Parsons from Review My Games, and this is my review for the new Mortal Kombat. Now, I'm not going to go through the release dates and stuff like that because that was quite boring in the other video, so I'll just put all that information in the description. First off, I'm just going to explain that my mic is broken, so I'm just going to have to say all of this in a video like this, so there's probably not going to be as much gameplay footage or anything like that. But hopefully you'll still enjoy the review, and I'll still get in what I can. Start off, let's talk about the story. The story is set during the events of Mortal Kombat 1, 2 and 3, the old arcade games, but it's not a reboot of those, it's a sequel to Armageddon. Basically at the end of Armageddon there's just Raiden and Shao Kahn left. Shao Kahn's kicking Raiden's ass, and Raiden sends a message back in time to his past self, and the message just says he must win. So Raiden from the past gets this message and has to sort of work out what it means, and in doing so he alters the timeline. I think it's a really good story. I think it was really well written. Story mode's really worth playing through. Another thing that I like about it is that it is actually a sequel, so the other games, like after Mortal Kombat 1, 2 and 3, they still matter, because if it wasn't for them, this message would never have got sent back and the timeline would never have been changed. So I think it's better than doing a reboot, because if you did a reboot, then it'd be like all the other games didn't even matter, like they never even took place. So I think it's a good idea. I think the story is very, very good for this game. And also it goes back to a timeline which was the best era of the Mortal Kombat games, really. The first trilogy, which is the story that not a lot of today's Mortal Kombat fans are that aware of, because they've become fans through the home console games. I think it's a story which definitely is worth looking at if you're a fan of the Mortal Kombat franchise. Yeah, a lot of the fans these days don't know the story, so this definitely helps, but shouldn't stick to this story exactly. The timeline has altered in this game, and if you want to know the original story, it's still worth looking back at the old games. But still very well written story. As well as story mode, there's also arcade mode, which is what you come to expect in a Mortal Kombat game. It's the sort of ladder mode where you go through a ladder of opponents that get more difficult as you go up, until eventually you reach the end boss. And in this game the end boss is Shao Kahn. That's the big guy with the hammer. Aside from the arcade ladder, there's also a tag team ladder, which is basically you play as two people on a tag team, and you can press L1 or the left button depending on which console you're on, and you can switch between the two characters during combat. So that's pretty good. That's new to the Mortal Kombat games because they've never had a tag team style match before. It's not new to fighting games, obviously, but it's new to Mortal Kombat, and I think it's a good addition. There's not just arcade mode, there's versus mode where you can play against a friend in a normal one-on-one match, or you can do tag matches. Aside from that, there's also Test Your Might and Test Your Sight, which many will remember from the Deadly Alliance games. In Test Your Might, there's a meter on the left side, and you keep pressing the buttons on the controller so the meter fills up, and then when it goes over a minimum bar, so the meter will fill up like that, bloop, 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 bloop. When it goes high enough, you press the triggers, and the character on screen will break something like a plank of wood or something you'd normally expect. People just go like, wow, break a plank of wood in half. It's like that, only it's normally a lot tougher than a plank of wood. Test Your Sight is basically you have a certain amount of cups. There's something underneath the one cup. Well, they're not always cups in this game. Sometimes they're skulls, but it's the same sort of thing. There's something underneath one of them. They get mixed round, and you have to say which one it was in. As well as that, there's also Test Your Strike, which is just like Test Your Might, only there's not just a minimum, there's also a maximum, and you have to try and get the meter in between the minimum and maximum. So it's like that, goes up, you keep it there until the meter turns red. No, until the meter turns from red to green, and then you press the triggers. They are very fun to play, although I probably do prefer actually playing through combat, but they're still a really good addition. Obviously, if you've played Deadly Alliance, then it's nothing new, but still, a new thing that is in there is Test Your Luck, and that's where you have a normal combat fight, but it starts off with a sort of slot machine type thing. The things spin round, land on different pictures that affect the type of fight you're going to have. They choose your opponent, they choose different things about the match that take place. So your opponent could deal double damage, or you could constantly lose health throughout the match. Different things about the environment could hurt you, like ice balls falling from the sky or fireballs. Just different things. You could have armless combat where you fight with no arms, and headless combat. Stuff like that is actually really fun. The main combat itself is, if you played on the old 2D versions of the Mortal Kombat games, the old arcade games, then you'll know from that sort of what to expect from 2D style fighting, only this is a lot different. In the old versions, a lot of characters had similar sort of moves, and the only real way to distinguish them was from their special moves and from the way they looked. Other than that, they played pretty much the same. But in this one, every character is unique in terms of the way that they fight. The new addition is the power meter at the bottom, which is it's got 3 different stages to it. The first stage is enhanced, where you can perform an enhanced special move, so the special move will be more powerful. There's the second stage, which is breaker, which is where you can block and break out of a combo. And then when the meter's full, that's the third stage. It's called X-ray. You press the 2 triggers at the back, and you'll attack your opponent. If the attack lands, then you will perform an X-ray move, which is where you basically beat the shit out of your opponent, and the camera view will go to a sort of X-ray like thing where you'll see the inside of the opponent. You'll see all the bones cracking and everything from the blows that you land, and it looks really, really cool. It really is just amazing to watch. The graphics in this game are really, really good. Better than good, actually. The best graphics in a Mortal Kombat game to date, and they're just really good graphics for this time. They're not the best graphics I've ever seen in a game, but they are still really, really nice graphics. They do look really good. The characters look really good, and the damage done to them during combat looks very, very good indeed. But the main thing is the background. Not many people pay attention to that. They pay more attention to the fighters, and for good reason. But if you actually pay attention to the backgrounds, you'll realise that the environments look really, really nice. They've put a lot of effort into that. So I think the graphics are really nice for this game. Another mode that I forgot to mention in the game is Challenge Tower, which is a tower of challenges, as you could probably guess from the title. And there's 300 challenges, and if you get past all 300, then you'll unlock a bonus, and that bonus is Mileena's alternative outfit, which looks like this. So that's what you unlock from doing the Challenge Tower. Different challenges in the tower range from really easy. There are some challenges in there that are so easy you'll definitely do them first try, and then there's some which are extremely fucking difficult. You'll probably have to skip a load of them, which you can skip by paying coins. If you're new to Mortal Kombat games, coins are basically, you get awarded coins for winning fights and going through story mode and stuff like that. So it's very easy to collect coins in this game, but yeah, that's basically what they do. You can skip challenges in Challenge Tower with it, and you can buy items from a place called the Crypt, which basically you click on a load of different graves and stuff like that, and there's things inside the graves which you can just buy. Is really good just to get some bonuses if you're into that sort of stuff, and also it unlocks different fatalities and different costumes, so it is pretty good. But the Crypt isn't a new thing. If you played older Mortal Kombat games, you'll know what the Crypt is. One of the key things about this game is the fatalities. They've brought back the old fatality system from before Armageddon, because in Armageddon it was basically shit. That's what it was. In Armageddon it was really, really shit. They came up with this idea for create a fatality, which is where you just do each specific move. So you could punch him in the face, pull off an arm, pull off a leg, twist the neck, just different stuff like that, and it was crap. It wasn't what we wanted. We wanted to see each character do their own unique fatality by putting in a combination code at the end. They did actually bring that back in Mortal Kombat vs DC universe, but it wasn't that good in that game because they couldn't do it too violent because of the DC characters being in it. A lot of fans of the DC comics wouldn't want their favourite characters killing other people in violent ways, so they had to tone down on the violence in that. So there wasn't that much blood, and a lot of fatalities weren't even fatal. People didn't even die in some of them. So this game definitely makes up for that. The fatalities in this game are epic, truly, truly epic. They're so violent and so gory and so brilliant. They really, really are. And I love them for that. It definitely makes up for the last two games. For example,
Scorpion wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
looks beautiful. Trust me, that's not the worst. It gets a lot worse than that. There's a lot more violent stuff in the fatalities. So if you like violent stuff like that, you will not be disappointed. The blood effects in this game as well, you'll notice, are a lot better than the old games. In the old games, the blood just looked like little balls of red, and it looked terrible. But now they've really made it look so much better. And I'm just so glad that they've brought the fatalities back the way that they should be. There's actually a mode in this game. It's called the Fatality Tutorial. You can click on one of the characters and you'll just be taken straight to a finishing type place, and it'll tell you how to perform the fatality for that character, and you can just watch the fatality. And one of my favourite ones is Noob Cybot. So if you want to see that fatality, here it is. So just looking at that, you can probably tell why I like it so much. The online, I can't really talk about because I haven't been able to play it online, obviously, because the PlayStation Network's gone down. I mean, who knows, by the time this video gets uploaded, it might have already been sorted out, or it might not have been, but at the moment that I'm recording this video, I haven't been able to play this game online yet. I'm not much of an online gamer anyway, but when the PlayStation Network does come back on, I will give it a go just to see what it's like online. But I don't think it's going to make much difference because I've still got a rating set for this game, which I'm pretty much happy with. So I don't think the online's going to make that much difference to me. So here is my rating for the new Mortal Kombat. I have never before seen a fighting game which is worthy of 5 stars, because with fighting games there always tends to be a way you can improve upon it. I just find that with most fighting games. There's always some sort of improvement, and then the next game that comes out for that series normally has those improvements, and there's other improvements that can be made. So I find fighting games to be really good most of the time, but I've never before seen one that can get 5 stars. Until now. This game to me is so perfect. It is, in my opinion, the best Mortal Kombat game in the entire series, and in my opinion it is the best fighting game I've ever played in my life. Words cannot explain how much I truly love playing this game. There probably are a few ways in which it can be improved upon, but at the end of the day, even if a game came out with those improvements, I would still find this just amazing to play anyway. And I'm definitely happy with giving this 5 stars. So to me, this game is perfect. One last thing I forgot to mention about was Kratos being in the game. He's a PlayStation exclusive. A lot of PlayStation fanboys were really excited about Kratos being in the game, and a lot of Xbox fanboys were kind of annoyed that they didn't get their own exclusive character, which NetherRealm actually wanted to put an Xbox exclusive character in there as well, but they weren't allowed to for some reason, and I think that's kind of bad because we got one, so why can't Xbox players get one? But at the end of the day, people who have this game on the Xbox aren't actually missing much. Kratos is a good character, but he's not the best, and I don't play as him that much anyway. And I'm a massive God of War fan. If you look at my God of War reviews on the site, they're all written reviews. you'll know that I love the God of War games, and I still prefer to play as the Mortal Kombat characters rather than play as Kratos in this game. He's an alright character, he fits in well with the scene, but at the end of the day he doesn't really add much to the game. He's just there for the sake of being there. So yeah, Xbox owners aren't missing out on much. If you have the game on the Xbox, you've still got a brilliant game at the end of the day. Kratos isn't the main reason for this game being absolutely brilliant. Even if Kratos wasn't in the PlayStation version, I would still be giving it 5 stars. So I don't think it's that big of a deal having him in, although he's still a welcome extra, but at the end of the day it doesn't make that much difference. So that was my review on the new Mortal Kombat. I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you managed to watch the review all the way through to the end without getting too bored. This has been the first video review I've done in a while. I'm really sorry about that. There have been reasons as to why I haven't been able to put up any other videos. I won't go through the reasons because there's no point, but I do promise you that there were some very good reasons as to why I haven't done any reviews for a bit. I think that's pretty much all I've got to say, so goodbye until next time.
As with all of our videos, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see this video and others on my site, along with some written reviews as well. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to look at it, which you do. So do it. Now.